Well, peeps. How are we all doing? How are we all doing? Wednesday night live stream. Let's talk about boxing. I think this is episode 9. Oh, about an hour late to the party. That's the best thing I can say. It's about an hour late to the goddamn party. Why are we an hour late to the party? Because the north side of County Dublin is not reliable. And what I mean by that is that power went. Literally, I was on the verge of going live about half hour, 40 minutes ago, on the verge of going live, and electricity decides, do you know what? Nah, but most of the north side of Dublin, let's just go without power for a half hour just for a laugh. Not fun. Big Dan is in the chat. Yo, Big Dan, what's the crack? What is up? Yeah, and you know what, right? I was debating whether or not to do this face to face with the camera, so just put the camera on the laptop on. And I think that was the thing. That was the thing that saved the first live stream, because it was taking that long for me to decide. By the time I finally was about to go live, that's when the power in Swords went. And yeah, half hour late, but better late than never. We got Big Dan, Visual Takes, Buzzy Git, G-Man back in town. Hope you're well, man. Honest visuals, man. I don't know what's been going on with me lately, but I've been just on a high. And I'm not that kind of high. I've been feeling fucking on top of the world, man. So glad you guys are here. Let's talk about boxing. Let's talk about Chisora Usyk. Let's talk about this fight. I'm super stoked. You getting anyone on? That's a need to know basis, Big Dan. That's a need to know basis. It's a work in progress, Dan. That's the best way to describe it. It's a work in progress. I mean, we're getting there. We're getting there. We are getting there. That's where hashtags G-Man's Rocks comes from. That is literally where it comes from. And we're getting there. We're getting there. But it's going well. So far, so good, Big Dan. And I tell you what, if it goes really, really well, maybe someday I'll actually get her on a live stream. Or maybe put her in a video. Who knows? We'll wait and see. But for now, it's still a work in progress. It's still a work in progress. So shout out to you. Visual Takes. Usyk will outclass Derek. Will outclass Chisora. You know what, bro? I'm just thinking about the fact that Chisora is going to be fighting Usyk with no crowd. And like, Chisora is he's such a hot coal fighter. Like, he's someone who just needs to be motivated for a fight. Like, even if he's not, like, think of it like this, right? When he fought Dylan White the first time, right? That was in Manchester, wasn't in London, right? And he was up for that fight. You know, he was motivated. You know, he was good to go. When he fought Takam, or when he fought, like, even, who was it? When he fought Spilka, when he fought these other guys, he was fighting them in London, right? When he was fighting Parker, meant to be fighting Parker, he was going to fight in London. So he was up for all these fights. He was saying that, you know, we are going to get the Derek Chisora chance, all this stuff. And then, you know, we get Chisora turn up. But then you get fights at the Kabayel fight in Monaco, where it's literally just, you know, the kind of people who are out there, you know, watching those fights. They're the kind of, you know, yes sir, very grand, you know, yes, we come and we sip on our Grey Goose. We don't do anything. We just, you know, we keep quiet. Those kind of guys, you know. I mean, that's not the atmosphere in there is absolutely atrocious, or it was, because I don't know if Eddie Hearn's still going to do those Monaco shows. Atmosphere was atrocious in those shows. So Chisora fights Kabayel. Yeah, Kabayel's a back foot fighter. He's not going to play into Chisora's strengths. We saw Chisora struggle a bit when he fights guys who move a bit, such as what's the guy's name? Senad Gashi. But still, there's just no urgency there. And I think if he's fighting behind closed doors, regardless if it's in London, if it's in Manchester, we're not going to see the best Alexander Usyk. We're not going to see the best Derek Chisora. I mean, Jesus, Alexander Usyk. We'll probably see a good Usyk, but we won't see the best Chisora. So, sup, G-Man, getting anyone on? I see what you meant at the bottom of that, Big Dan. You mean the panel. Not tonight. I will eventually. I like doing these on my own. If I'm ever on the panel, I normally tend to go on Mark or D's channel. You know, big up to those guys. I think they're on with Beats now at the minute. Actually, I was going to get Mark to do this live stream for me, because I text him as soon as the power went in Dublin because the live stream was still in everyone's sub feed, and I was like, shit, I don't want this to stay in everyone's sub feed because I can't even go in and delete it because I've no flipping Wi-Fi, and my phone is like the 3G is okay, but I don't have long on it. So he was actually going to do this live stream, but he's on Beats instead. So I said, look, it's fine. Once we get this up, once we get the power back on, we'll get this live stream going. So no panel this time. We're doing 100% solo. We're doing it solo. Chisora beats Usyk. I still can't believe I thought. You should have been more specific, Dan. You know, you really should have been. You know, when you getting anyone on. That's how my mind works, Dan. It works a different way. I want you to say, bit of confusion there for a second. Yeah, fair enough. You see, man, like that's what you said. You said, am I getting anyone on? And the first thing I thought of, and you see what you did, right? I said the visual takes up here because he said, G-Man, hope you're well. You know, I was like, I'm in a good mood. I'm in a very good mood. I'm happy with everything. And then you say, am I getting anyone on? I'm like, that equals happy. So that's what I assumed you were asking. A shout out to Johnny Boy. Big up, Johnny Boy. Big up every time. Big up to Johnny Boy. If anyone's not, I think pretty much everyone knows, but go over, subscribe to Johnny Boy if you haven't already. But big up to him every time. You know, big up to him. Big up to all the guys. You know, big up to everyone. And you know, I want to give a shout out to Mini Me Boxing as well, if he's ever in one of these streams, because there were so many channels I left out. There were so many good channels I left out of that best channels updated video I done the other day. The only reason why I left them all out is just purely because we done what, 17, 18 minutes. I didn't want that video going like 20 minutes to a half hour. So I left a couple of channels out, but like guys like Johnny Boy, you know, guys like UCTV, you know, Porky's, guys like that, they're all good guys. They're all good guys. So I only got as many as I could into a 17-minute video. We got Bruce Lee in the chat. So big up to him. We got big up to him. Visual Takes thinks Usyk will outclass Chisora. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you on that. Agree with you wholeheartedly on that. I think that I think this fight would be trickier for Usyk, right? I genuinely do. If we were in the O2 and we had a full crowd, then I think this would be a trickier fight for Usyk. I really, truly do. Sorry, peeps. I was going to click on Visual Takes there. Usyk will outclass Chisora as well. That's what he's thinking. Johnny Boy has it right. Smash the like button. You know, how many we got? We got 14 people in the chat. Smash the like button, people. Smash the like button, people. St. Brit Sports, shout out to him. Big up every single time. Go over and check his channel out as well. Salute G-Man. Yes. Hashtag G-Man's rocks. We got to get that trending in some of this. And anytime, Johnny Boy, anytime. Anytime. You know, you and D, it's a little bit harder to get onto your live stream sometimes, just time difference and stuff like that. But anytime with the shout out. Who else was it I wanted to big up? Oh, yeah, we got Buzzy Get in here. Says Usyk outboxes Chisora in his opinion. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you on that. I think Usyk will outbox Chisora. I think it's a good fight, but man, I'm just picturing. And you know what, right? Do you know who Chisora should keep? Well, he doesn't have him in his camp anymore. But who did Alexander Usyk knock out last time he was in the UK? He knocked out Tony Bellew. Who did Derek Chisora train with at one stage? He trained with Dave Caldwell. Now, he's not training with Dave Caldwell now, but at least Caldwell has a bit of experience, you know, having a guy in there with Usyk. So he can maybe be able to see from, you know, a bird's eye, first-hand perspective saying what you need to do. But I forget who's actually training Chisora now. But there's so many things you need to think about. Like, I mean, like, how are you going to get that style in sparring? How are you going to get someone who moves like Usyk, who's, you know, fast as it, who gives you them angles? It's going to be so difficult. Whereas, you know, Usyk just has to bring in Dave Allen. You know, he literally, and obviously Chisora is better than Dave Allen, but that's literally all Usyk has to do is to bring Dave Allen in and just let him get teed off. And that's going to give you a rough idea as to what you're dealing with here. So, you know, it's still though, like, I'm looking forward to this fight. I said it on my video today, right? The minute I saw that fight get announced, I was like, yeah, that just fits in with me and my look with this fight. Because people, you go and look at any video on my channel that I've done about Usyk Chisora, It's the same goddamn thing. And I just think it's funny, right? It's the same goddamn thing, right? Anytime I did a video saying, when are we getting this fight? Or what's going on with this fight? Etc. etc. I upload that video. Within a day, we've had news about Usyk Chisora, or we've had the fight announced. Like, I will never forget doing a video. I think it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I was in work the next day, and I was asking the question. This was back in March. I was asking the question, why haven't we got this fight announced? Where is it? Upload that video first thing in the morning. Within the first like 20 minutes, boom, there you go. Sky box office pay-per-view, fight announced. I was like, mate, you got to be kidding me. I was like, you got to be kidding me here. Bellew wants to be left alone. Leave him out of it. I had his. Never forget last week's live stream, man. I had Bellew's gay brother in my chat. He was in the chat. He had the mask on and everything, full-blooded rainbow colors. You know, he was in the live chat. Never forget that. Motherfucker didn't even smash the like, though, I don't think. Usyk will win, but they'll give him problems. He will. He will. If there was a crowd there, we'd have even more problems. You have a big problem. You see there, yeah, G-Man, and big problems. So happy this fight's announced. Really worried it was dead. Will Stokes, so was I. I was like, this fight's not going to happen. At one stage, I was thinking, both guys want so much money. It's just not going to happen because of the money, more so than anything else. That's all I was thinking. I was just thinking, like, there's a good chance we can get this fight made if we had fans. And we've got Bellew in this chat now. I'll bring him up. Someone mentioned my brother. Yeah. Someone mentioned you as well. You know, Chisora, your buddy, is fighting the guy who knocked you out. Remember that? Do you remember that fight? Eddie Hearn holding your head up. Remember that, man? But you got home to your family, didn't you? You got home safe and sound to your family. But yes, someone mentioned your brother. He was in this chat last week, you know, bigging up AJ. He was picking up an all people. I don't know if anyone was in Dell's stream earlier. You know, I was in that having just, you know, just sitting around Dell's chat. People, I think I'm finally made it. I finally made it on YouTube. I think I've finally reached the point now where I can, you know, I can tell people outside of YouTube that I do this because I have someone who made a fake G-Man account and has been going around claiming to be me. I've officially got a stalker, literally, because D. Jefferson, Speaker Mind Sports, was in the chat, was in Dell's chat, and I bigged him up. And I think I was texting someone, like just literally text someone on WhatsApp. And I look at the chat and I was like, G-Man Boxing said this or something like that. I forget what it said to D. I was like, I didn't do that. I didn't fucking do that. And then we had this guy going crazy on Dale's channel. And I was like, and literally logo and all. But you can tell he took a screenshot of it because it was just like man boxing. As you can see on that logo, it's blue and white. But this was kind of like a proper, it was a mess. But I was like, damn, I've officially got people ripping my account, like literally making fake G-Man accounts. So I've officially made it. I've got stalkers now. I've made it on YouTube. Chisora is way past it. Every time Chisora seems way past it, he puts on he just resurrects himself. Like, I thought Chisora was way past it in 2015. Seriously. 2015, I was like, Chisora he's going to retire soon. And look, it was 2020 and he's on pay-per-view. Seriously. Chisora is literally, he's lost 9 times. He is the cat with 9 lives. This is live number 10. Oh, you knocked out Usyk, but people got confused. They mixed just 2 up. Oh, yeah. You know, that explains it. You know, I mean, I'm sure that, yeah. And Johnny Nelson, I think, said something to that effect as well. That, you know, technically better than, you know, you and Johnny Nelson, the 2 finest examples of unbiased commentators on Sky, or in general. Just, you want objective, you want it unbiased. You look for Johnny Nelson, Matthew Macklin, and Tony Bellew. You will get it. Just, yeah, you will just get it. You will get nothing but good stuff. Riding with Chisora, interesting. Actually, I want to check what the odds are on that fight. Because that's been on Paddy for a while. I haven't checked any of the odds on it. Let's have a check. Let's have a little nose on here. And let's see some of the betting. Let's see what we can do. I'm excited about this fight, people. I'm excited about it. You know, I was like, do you know what I'm just surprised at? I said it to Dell. I'm surprised we're getting so many like pay-per-view fights in close proximity. Like cast your minds back to like March of this year, before all the madness. We were set to get, and this is, I'm not including like BT Sport pay-per-view, I'm just including Matchroom. So we were to get Usyk, Chisora, AJ Pulev, and White Povetkin, right? We were to get them over the course of what, a month? Literally over the course of a month, we were to get all them fights. And now we're getting something similar now, but in a time where people don't have literally people that we don't have the money. Well, a lot of people don't, you know. I'm reasonably safe in my job, but I know a hell of a lot of people aren't. And I say reasonably safe because God only knows what will happen, what's around the corner. But I see these pay-per-views flopping. I see a lot of these pay-per-views. I even see AJ's pay-per-views not doing great moving forward, just with regards to everything that's been going on. I'm serious, people. Let's get on to this fight right here. Where are we? Yeah, here we go. Usyk Chisora. Let's have a nose onto this and see what we got. So I'm not going to give a full prediction on this fight just yet. I'm not going to break it down, but I'll definitely be riding with Alexander Usyk to win. I don't think he's going to stop Chisora. I think it's going to go to points. So we're going to go Usyk on points. Okay, it's shit. It's not worth your while sticking anything down on that. And well, it's not worth your while sticking any, you know, amounts you can afford to lose down on it. You only get, for 20 quid, you get a return of 18 quid. What do we have for KO? Even KO and TKO ain't great. But let's go with Chisora. Let's go with Chisora. Oh, yeah. Chisora is 100% not a favor. Chisora is more a long shot to win on points than he is to win via stoppage. It's interesting. Let's go and look at some round betting. So I'm thinking here, if Usyk is to stop Chisora, it's going to be late. So let's have a look-see. Jesus. For round betting, even that's not great odds. You know, you get a little profit, but you don't get much. Let's have a look at Chisora for a late stoppage. Chisora is 14-1 to stop Usyk late. And will this fight go the distance? Yeah, it's definitely going. Yeah, I've seen worse, like betting, to be fair. I've seen worse. Usyk is a 1-8 favorite, and Chisora is 9-2. 9-2. 20 quid gives you 110 quid. That's not bad going. You know, that's not bad going at all. So, yeah, we got some odds on this fight. We got 20 people in the chat right now. Big up to all of you. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Big up everyone. Big up everyone in the chat. And actually, I want to get back to some of the questions, but I want to see some hashtag G-Man's Rock. So I'm missing that. I was enjoying that. I wanted to get to Big Dan's comment. So many great YouTube channels. People underestimate how many good channels there are because the amount of bad ones. Yeah, that's unfortunate. You know, there is a lot of crap channels out there. I say crap, like, so there's channels I just don't watch because they're so biased. You know, I think we all know the kind of guys we're talking about here. But yeah, there are some that just bring it down. You know, there aren't many, at least not that I've known, there's not that many new guys coming on the scene. I haven't seen, and like I'm always someone who I'd always look to see, is there any like new guys coming on the scene that maybe we can give, you know, a bit of a helping hand to? I ain't seeing any new ones. I ain't seen any new guys come out. And a few new guys that I have seen, they've literally a couple of videos and then that's it. We're gone. We're gone. So there are a lot of good channels out there though, but it's the amount of time it takes for me to name them all and all that I watch. Like there's like 7 channels that I probably watch religiously, and we all know who they be. Like I pretty much big them all up all the time. So there are so many good ones out there. But yeah, it's tricky to get them all out there. Has anyone seen what Jarrell Miller has had to say? Because Jarrell Miller, he's back out. He's back in the news. He is back in the news. Has anyone had a look at what he's claiming is the reason for him failing that drugs test? Because I'm going to bring the screen share in now in a sec, right? I'm going to read this first. It says Jarrell, it's called the Black Ant King. Yeah, wait till you hear this. Jarrell Miller has claimed that he failed his most recent drug test due to a sex pill. Right. His defense is that the Black Ant King sexual stimulant, a Viagra type pill, Jesus, contains GW1516, which tested positive for last year. You know what, right? Jarrell Miller not being able to get his rocks up is basically that's his excuse. That's literally his excuse right here, people. Let's bring this screen share in for a sec. I'll let you see it if you haven't already. Let's go and have a look-see. They're green. Literally, look at this. What is this? This is what he's claiming. This is what he's claiming right here is the reason why he failed his drugs test. The Black Ant King, a Viagra type pill, contains that GW1516 or whatever you call it, which he tested positive for. That is that. You know, I like the fact that he's using, you know, Viagra essentially to excuse it, because, you know, someone who takes as many PEDs as Jarrell Big Baby Miller, you got to imagine that it's not all good down there. You got to imagine that there's some. You got to imagine something's gone wrong down there. But yeah, wait until you see tomorrow. I'm going to give my 2 cents on that now. Now, literally, when I finish up here, I'm going to go and I'm going to record a video on that, amongst other things. All right. So, Saint Sports, I told him you want Tony left alone. He's talking about Tony Bellew. He says you and me and Nelson are in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, the Hall of Infamy, the Matchroom Hall of Fame. And there we go. There, what do we have here? I reckon Chisora can stop Usyk. Really? JPK, I don't know. I don't know if he can stop Usyk, but I think he can cause Usyk. I think he can make Usyk uncomfortable in there. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking he can make Usyk uncomfortable in there. But in terms of, yeah, I mean, maybe like Chisora does. He's punching a lot more correctly. That's what I will say. Ever since he left Don Charles, he's just a better fighter. Like, it really does show how a bad trainer. And like, look, I know that's going to sound harsh, but yeah, I would consider Don Charles a bad trainer. He's not a world level trainer. He's not to say the least. Like, what's he done since he's left? What's his name? Chisora. He's done fuck all. So Charles, no. And in terms of like literally what he's looked like now since he's left Don Charles, he's looked a hell of a lot better. And you do kind of wonder if Chisora had been with like a Dave Colwell or someone like that earlier on in his career, how far he actually could have gone, you know, because he's definitely looking a hell of a lot better now. And it's a case of too little too late, because he ain't getting any younger. But it's a case of too little too late now for Chisora, because he's the best he ever was probably like what, 2011, 2012. So that was, you're talking about prime Chisora. He's not prime Chisora now. So in terms of having like the perfect setup with a good trainer, that would have been when we would have got the best out of him. Whereas now we're just dealing with Chisora near the end. But he is looking good though. He is looking good, but I just don't see him. I just don't see him doing much. Shout out to Richard, my hashtag G-Man's rocks. Yes, we want, yeah, there you go. We are working on that, bro. We are working on that. We'll get there. Yeah, there's no way Chisora wins on points. If he wins, it'll be stoppage. Chisora, although he would, yeah, he struggled against Gassi. He was just trying to, yeah, see, Gassi was just trying to survive. But Gassi was moving. He was boxing on the back foot. Chisora or Usyk will move way more fluidly, way better. And whereas Gashi is his name, he was just trying not to get hit. He was trying to survive. Usyk is going to be throwing punches. Usyk is going to be landing that jab. He is going to be throwing punches. He's going to be throwing hooks. Yeah, Chisora is going to, I think Chisora is going to try and, you know, bite on his gum shield and try and take these shots. But I could see Usyk wearing them. Don't think Usyk will stop Chisora. No, I really don't. I think we're talking about a points decision here. And you know yourself, we've seen some weird decisions. Now, this isn't me saying Usyk will get robbed, but we might see a closer decision than the actual fight might be. You believe this is a win for Usyk? Yeah, likewise. But I see it as a big fest test. I think you prove when you can have with the top guys. Yeah, this is definitely a big test for Usyk. A big test for Usyk. I think that Chisora is going to cause Usyk some trouble. And Usyk's going to be in there with someone who is going to try and manhandle him. So Usyk's going to want to, and see, Usyk's been injured, you know? So how do we not know that if Chisora is rough and he's making Usyk fight maybe a way he doesn't want to fight, or maybe a way he's not comfortable, that the body's not going to hang on? Because Usyk has been getting injured frequently. Lest we forget, like, he missed a year of the ring because of injuries, bicep injuries, disc injuries. Like, he's been getting injured way too frequently for my liking. And that's a worry. Similar to Lomachenko, you do wonder whatever training methods they're doing, or whatever way, you know, they keep themselves in shape, what it actually does to the body. Because both guys are just injury prone at this stage. And they're young, like, both guys are not old. they're not young guys, not in their 20s, but still, like in your early 30s, you're getting that injury prone. That is just crazy. So yeah, we'll need to see how Usyk looks, and yeah, we'll just need to see how Usyk looks in this fight. But I expect Usyk to win on points. I expect to win on points. In terms of like Wyatt, probably not Wyatt. I reckon about 5-7. Seriously, I reckon it could be 5-7, 5-7, 6-2. Could be in around that kind of fight. Could be in around that kind of fight. What would you said? Bell and Bellew by Third Fish. Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's saying he's in the Hall of Fame. Look at him there. Him and Nelson are in the Hall of Fame. And he said that he never was knocked out by Usyk. No, I knocked out Usyk, but people get confused and mix us two up. So I'm going to just leave that on screen there for a while. I'm going to leave that sitting on screen there for a while. Richard Michaels, Niall Kennedy, how is looking? How is he looking, do you mean? I honestly couldn't tell you, mate. I like the gym he's training in, the Celtic Warriors gym. I haven't been in that gym since the end of July, start of August. Because during this whole Rona saga, it's been they've been doing reduced hours, and the hours don't suit me, so I haven't had a chance to get up there and train. And by the way, I would love to see Niall Kennedy win, because I've trained the gym with him, and he is a cool guy. He's a nice guy. He's very approachable. But that gym, because as some of you may know, in Dublin, restrictions are being tightened a little bit here, so a lot of things are closing. But normal gyms are still opening, but the head coach has actually closed that gym down. So essentially, Niall Kennedy is finishing his camp without a gym. If that's what I'm gathering, that's essentially what's happening. So that's not a good sign if he's going in there with Alan Babbage. That to me is a worry, And Babbage, he's probably based, where is he based, in the UK? Well, he's going to be just training 100% nonstop. So that's a worry for me. That's a red flag. So we're 2 weeks out from that fight. I'm not optimistic about Kennedy's chances, truth be told. Not really optimistic. But you never know. I've been proven wrong before. Completely agree. You reckon Usyk 7-5. Yeah, 7. Now, when I say Usyk 7-5 or 8-4, I'm not saying that it's necessarily going to be a close fight. Like, Usyk could win. Usyk could give Chisora a schooling. But we know how some of the judges can be over in the UK. We know, and I don't know, and I said this before, I'm not sure if they're flying judges in or not, just because of the whole Rona situation. So you could be dealing with all British judges, and how impartial are they going to be? Now, we got to give some big ups. We got to give some shout outs. We got to shout out the Troll Network. He was mentioned. Apologies, I mentioned you last on my best channels on YouTube, the updated list. If you haven't already, go and give his channel a like. Go on over there and subscribe. He puts up a lot of good stuff, puts up a lot of funny stuff. You're always keeping me laughing. Big up. So big up Troll Network every time. Big up to D. Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. What is up, brother? Big up to D Jefferson. For those who are interested, go and subscribe to him as well. Does a lot of lives. I've been on some of your lives. I've actually been on a few of his. So, and I've even been in the panel. So big up to D every time. Speak Your Mind Sports. Go over, check his channel out. He also does a bit of basketball as well. So both these guys, great channels, great guys. Cannot speak any more highly of these guys. D, just what a guy. Shout out to him every day of the week. Shout out to him every single day of the week. A lot of time for D. A hell of a lot of time for him. And we got Rob in the chat. Good day, G-Man. Gmail. Good day, Gmail. Yeah, he's corrected there. I was wondering. Good day, G-Man. New to the channel, but you're enjoying the content, brother. Man, I appreciate that, man. Anyone who's new to the channel, I appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoy the content. As I was saying earlier in the chat, right, I think D knows about it as well, is that I think, like, now I've officially, on YouTube, I've officially made it. I have people making fake G-Man accounts. And D knows exactly what we're talking about, because Dale's chat was just... Yeah, Dale's chat was just going crazy with, like, me. I think there was someone else, Pigeon Mike Tyson, just channels with our names on it. And it's like, well, it ain't fucking us. It ain't us. So I've officially got people who have that much time. They're making fake G-Man accounts now. It's crazy. Yeah, and autocorrect. Yeah, autocorrect has screwed me over a couple of times. But best believe. But yeah. So I can't believe people have this much time to make fake G-Man accounts. Seriously. Seriously. You know, this is Usyk Chisora based. Could we get a prediction for Charlo this weekend? Yeah, you can. Of course, I'm doing my prediction videos probably tomorrow. Probably not going to record them this evening because I got other videos that I've got planned for this evening. But I'll give you my prediction for both fights. So, Charlo Derevchenko, Jamal Charlo versus Derevchenko. I always get them mixed up. It's Jamal, no, it's Jamal versus Derevchenko. I always get them mixed up, right? So I am going with Charlo on points. Okay, whether he deserves it or not, I don't know, but I would say close UD for Charlo. Close UD. Now, Derevchenko is going to give Charlo some problems. I think that goes without saying. He's going to be hitting Charlo to the body. He is going to be moving on. He is going to be roughing Charlo up in there. We are really going to see Charlo get tested in there against Derevchenko. I think that Charlo, his best chances early on. Derevchenko's been caught cold early on a couple of times. Do not underestimate Charlo's uppercut, even at middleweight. I know he's not shown himself to be a devastating puncher at middleweight. Do not underestimate Charlo's uppercut. That punch is very good, right? We've seen what it did to J-Rock back down to 154. J-Rock is a bit chinny, I'll admit that, but do not underestimate Charlo's uppercut, right? Don't underestimate that. And with regards to his brother, Jamel, against Rosario, well, Jamel is always struggles against guys who box and move. Rosario is not really like that. Rosario is an enormous target, so it should be easy for him to hit. Having said that, I think Rosario, I think he'll survive till the end. So I'm going for both Charlos to win, both on points. That's my prediction, right? In terms of some of the other fights, we've got Dorothy Coast versus Bradis. I'm back and forth, but I'm going to go with Bradis to win that fight by a knockout. I'm thinking knockout for Bradis. Right, so there are a couple of predictions. You know, generic fights like Taylor and stuff like that. Like, I'm not really predicting them because I think we kind of can really get an idea where we're going with them. But that's my thoughts on that. You're too kind, bro. You're too kind. Appreciate it every day, D. You know, love having you guys in the chat. All good, all good. And yeah, that was hella funny. Do you know what, right? When I seen those, I thought I got hacked because they were using my my avatar from the channel. And I was like, fuck, did someone hack me? And then I realized, I looked at it, I was like, that's a screenshot because it wasn't getting the full G-Man logo. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, we got G-Man in the chat. And it wasn't even G-Man. You think it's kind of funny if Charlo drops Derevchenko in the first? Yeah, that would be bad luck. Every time Derevchenko steps up, he gets dropped in the first round. Dropped by Jacobs, was dropped by Golovkin. That would be, yeah. No, I think Derevchenko knows that himself, so he'll be switched on in the first round. You know, Derevchenko, not a devastating puncher at middleweight, but very good, very talented. He's going to be banging the drum, banging that body. People have been saying that, you know, his punching powers, he hurt Triple G to the body. Triple G does not have the softest middle, or not have the hardest middle. Like, I don't think he's ever really. It's always been a bit soft. Not to say he's like, you know, he can't take body shots, no. But his middle, even if you see him train, it's never been the hardest. So I'm sure you can hurt Triple G to the body. You're going for Dorothy Coast late. Could easily see it happening, man. Easily see it happening. You know, we've got 1 and 2 this weekend. You know, there's so much good stuff on. Like, literally, there is so much good stuff on. When I go and we look at the events, like, let's just look at the schedules on BoxRec for this weekend. All right, never mind the fights we know about. Let's just look at the schedules that we have for Friday. And so we got some fights on Thursday in the States. A few names I recognize there, but let's just look. We got Tony Yoka versus Johan Dupas. Now, I'm hoping I can get a stream for that fight because I really want to see that fight. I want to see if Yoka can get rid of him. That's what I want to see. I really want to see if Yoka can get rid of him. Be interesting to see if he can. That's the only fight on that card I'm going to look for. I'm going to look at, really. And that's on a Friday. Got a card on in Italy. We don't care about that. We got a card on the thing. Some of these fights we're not really looking at. We've got Chavez Jr. is back this weekend in Mexico. He's fighting a guy called Mario Kertzidis. Name rings a bell. So if Chavez Jr. fighting, I mean, does anyone care anymore about that guy? Seriously, Chavez Jr. He quit against Danny Jacobs. You know, I mean, is he trying to make 168 now? I mean, shit. Jesus Christ, does anyone give a shit? You only hear Doughty Coast. You know, so someone in the chat said they can see him stopping Breedis late. I don't doubt it, but I just think if this fight was in Latvia, 100% Breedis, 100%, 110%. There is a little bit of doubt now that it's in Germany. Like, that is just giving me a smidgen of doubt. Just the fact that it's in Germany and that Breedis, when he's been fighting in Latvia, he's been allowed to get away with a lot of stuff over there. A fucking lot of stuff over in Latvia. So we'll see how that one goes. Who else do we have this weekend? Because there's so many fights that were due on. And I wouldn't mind, but there is a card on in Riga this weekend. There's no one I recognize on it, but there's a card in Riga. So I wonder why. Maybe Breedis or maybe Dordicos didn't want to fight over there. Yeah, we've Josh Taylor's card then. Josh Taylor, fucking Charlie Edwards. Oh, fuck's sake. We get to see Charlie Edwards. Oh, man. Those Edward boys. And Charlie Edwards is older than me, so I say boys. There's something amiss with those lads. There's something really amiss with those lads. But the card I want to watch is Charlo Derevchenko, Charlo Rosario, Danny Roman versus Juan Carlos Payal, Luis Neri against Aaron Amelda, Jesus, John Real Casimiro versus Duke Mikai, I think that's how you pronounce it. What a card. That is what, like, that puts Eddie Hearn to shame. That puts Frank Warren to shame, that card. What does D have to say? Jamal's uppercut and straight right is too powerful. Rosario's going to play into, yeah, exactly, Jamal's style. You think you see everyone's saying that Jamal stops Rosario. I'm going with points. I'm going with points for Jamal. For some reason, I just think Rosario will last. But I can see how, because he's got a big target to hit, and Jamal's power has been improving over the years. You know, before he was really not known as a puncher, but his power's really improved over the years. And you think decision win for Jamal over Derevchenko? Yeah, I'm agreeing with you on that. Do you think Rosario is the real deal? The guy really irritates you? Yeah, look, I expect Rosario to lose. I mean, it was a good win against J-Rock. It really was. J-Rock was not himself in that fight at all. Like, the minute he got a cut early on in that fight, and he was doing all right early on in that fight, but the minute he got that cut, J-Rock's it's just like the confidence went from him. Seriously. It's just like the confidence went from him. Who's even going to be in Chisora's corner? He left Don Charles and Dave Colwell. Dale Hay will be doing the corner. Yeah, he left. And Colwell would have done him a world of good, because Colwell has had a fighter in there against Alexander Usyk and Tony Bellew. So having Dave Colwell in there would have been a bit more experience, because Colwell's been there firsthand, seeing what Usyk is like. Take a drink. I forget the guy's name. I honestly forget the guy's name, but he had him in his camp for the Price fight. Oh, intrigue. Sorry, man. Apologies. Will Stokes says he intrigues me. You find him interesting. Yeah, I thought you had, because one of the guys in this chat, Rob, shout out to him. He got auto spell. He got the auto correct. So I just assumed it was you just trying to say irritates me, but you're saying intrigues me. That's still not the worst cock up I've done so far. Look at this, right? This guy, Visual Take, shout out to him if he's still watching. He said, G-Man, back in town, hope you're well, right? And I just said, because I've been in really, really good form as of late. You know, things have been going super for me. You know, just in general, things have been going super. So I said that, you know, I'm in really good form. And came out and said, you getting anyone on? Now, over here, when someone says they're, you know, in really good form and they're happy and, you know, things are going real well, and someone turns around and says, you getting anyone on? That normally means a woman. So I went on and explained that not anyone on at the minute. Turns out he meant panel. I walked right into that one. Where are you catching Charlo? Anyone know if it's on the UK? It's on a station called FIFE, I think is how you pronounce it. I think it's FITE TV. Now, I have Sky here, but I honestly don't know. If anyone is in the chat, it says here they do a lot of pro wrestling, but they're doing boxing as well. Now, if anyone in the chat knows how in Ireland we can get this, if we can get FIFE in Ireland, I don't know if Mark's in the chat or not, but if anyone knows if we can get that, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to use my old pal, Mr. Crackstream. Literally, it's Big Boys. Shout out to him. Big Boys Boxing comes on. Yeah, if the card's worth pay-per-view, it is. But if I can't get Fight TV, then I will use what Big Boys has said here. The first one. I have a link saved, and that website is very, very good. Very good. A Visual Takes is still in the chat, just doing some late night work with me in the background. Yeah, I'm always getting you through late night work, Visual Takes. Always. Every time. I'm always getting your you through your late night work. Every time I seem to live stream, you're always working late. Happy to get you through, bro. Happy to get you through. Yeah, D, you don't think J-Rock has the most heart? It was a couple of times in the Hurd fight he was letting off the gas. He was. He let Hurd back into that fight. He really did. I was only watching that fight a little while ago. Only a couple of weeks ago, I was rewatching that fight. But Hurd didn't pressure him. He was hurting himself. Yeah, Hurd was wary about J-Rock's power. Even though J-Rock's not a devastating puncher, Hurd was wary. I've never rated Hurd, truth be told. Seriously, never rated the guy. But you're right there. I do think J-Rock has a bit of questionable heart. You know, because it was weird. It was like, you watch that Rosario fight, watch the first round. J-Rock looks fine. Doesn't look there's anything wrong with him. Go in there in the second round. I think it was the second round he got cut. Or it was a cut that reopened, because I remember it was like a little jab. It was like a grazing jab, and it opened up over the forehead or over the eye. And like J-Rock just seemed to lose it. Like, just mentally, it was just like, well, I've lost now. This was the second round, like, and he was just like, well, I'm done. And that was it. He just seemed to just wither. That was a worry. Because I've seen way worse cuts and guys just act like, oh, it's nothing. As Visual Takes was saying, but someone planning any discussion with Hatman again. Remember one a few months ago, was very impressed with you. Shout out, Tony. I haven't asked them, truth be told. I will actually, next time he's doing a live stream on Patreon, I'll ask him, is he doing another boxing roundtable? Because that was fun. And we should definitely do another one of them again. You know, we had good fun doing that. Hopefully, like I said, that was good fun. I've had Hatman in one of these live streams before, not the chat. He's just appeared in the comment section. So yeah, definitely will. I'll say it to him, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we get another one in. You know, it's not even the exposure; it's just the fact that I enjoy being on different panels. You know, I enjoy going on Mark or D's channel. I enjoy going on Dale's channel if I'm in a panel. So fingers crossed, man. I will ask him. I have something for you. If you can't get it, G, hit me, G-Man. I have 3 for you there if necessary. I have something for you if you can't get it. Hit me, G-Man. I have 3 for you if necessary. Now, I don't want to know what that is, D. Oh, man. That could... You want me to... I don't know, man. What are you asking me there? That could be bad. That could be bad going. Hashtag G-Man's Rocks, Big Boys Boxing. Did I shout you out already? If I haven't, apologies. Shout out to Big Boys Boxing. Go over, subscribe to him. He puts out a lot of good content as well. I'm not sure if I shouted you out or not, because I seen you in the chat earlier. But if I didn't shout you out, apologies. Shouting you out now, Big Boys Boxing. Shout out to him. Again, massive shout out to D. Massive shout out to D, Speaker Mind, Sport and Talk. I was on Dell's stream earlier, so I don't think he's in the chat, but shout out to Dell as well. I was on his chat earlier. Blue Collar Sport TV, of course. Mate, you're sick of Chavez. You will be less scared if he wins or loses this week, man. Or you'll be less arsed if he wins. I thought you said scared. Man, do you know what, right? That guy, he's just like a bad smell. It's just like a bad smell you can't get rid of. You know, he is literally just like a bad smell you can't get rid of. That is exactly what he is. G-Man, what do you do outside of YouTube, bro? Okay, what do I do outside of YouTube? I'll tell you. I work for a book company, right? In fact, actually, let's just... I don't really care anymore. Not care anymore, but like, I'm happy to let people know a little bit more about me. So I'll bring in the screen share and I'll show you the name of the company I work for. If that's what you mean now. If that's what you mean, because I don't want to be talking absolute garbage about this, that, and the other. But I'll bring in the screen share. All right, work for this company here. It's called Essence. Not signed in, obviously. Basically, if you need a refund or if you need like queries on anything, I'm kind of one of the guys you email. So like I deal with a lot of like email queries and stuff like that. That's pretty much my job for this company. And yeah, look after a lot of things on there. So if you ever want to email in, you literally go down, where is it? You go to like help center, you can email in. You can have a chat with me over an email. You know, hashtag G-Man's rocks. Someone, whoever actually does, don't fucking email in hashtag G-Man's rocks either. It would be funny. If I saw that in a queue, hashtag G-Man's rocks, I would fucking piss myself laughing. If I saw that first thing in the morning. Oh, good at G-Man. Yeah. Big up, big boys. Big up every time. Every time. Big up every time. What was he saying? Nathan says, Usyk points, think he will outbox Chisora, use footwork. Exactly. I'm agreeing with you on that wholeheartedly. That's what I'm thinking. As I said in my video I done today, if there was a crowd at this fight, I think we'd see a more game Chisora. He'd be a bit more dangerous, a bit more lively, but we're not getting that. So for that reason, I'm just thinking, no, we're going to see a maybe not a lackluster Chisora, but we're definitely not going to see Chisora firing on all cylinders. No way. No way. The way the world is now, just glad to have a job. Tough times, man. Man, do you know what, right? I'm seriously, as much as I complain about this job sometimes, not YouTube, obviously, working in Easton's, I complain about it sometimes. I'm fucking thrilled to have it. Thrilled to have it. A bad smell you can't get rid of. Like I work with a girl from Croatia, right? And she never heard that saying before. I think maybe it's an Irish saying. When I said it to her, she nearly had like a fit laughing, because I used to work with an absolute fool, to say the least. And this guy was a weirdo. He was a creep. He just would not leave this one girl alone. And I was like, he is following her like a bad smell. And she nearly had a fit laughing. Literally, she nearly had an absolute fit laughing when I said that. But that's just the saying we use over here. That's what's up, G, man. Yeah, that is what's up. That is literally what's up. Where we go. Sorry, Darren. No crowd kills Chisora, Monaco Part 2. That's exactly it. That's what I said in the video I done today. No crowd will just kill Chisora. You know, he needs that crowd. He needs that bit of momentum. He needs that. How many? We've got 18 people currently still in the chat. If you haven't already, please smash that like button. Really helps us out, people. Really helps us out. Where we go here. Did you box as an amateur? Very briefly. I'm still debating whether or not I can keep doing it. Like, I was meant to, I'll tell you this, right? I was meant to have a fight in April if COVID hadn't happened, or Rona. I'll be lucky to, see, I don't know if I'm ever going to go and fight again, but I did briefly. But whether I do it or not again remains to be seen. I stay in the gym ticking over, but just normal gym. Just literally a normal gym. And I don't know. Because I'm getting older and I might not have the time. You know, if all goes well with hashtag G-Man's rocks, some people know what that is. If all goes well with that, then I won't have enough time to box. And that's okay. You know, I love boxing. I love being able to do it. I love doing the training and sparring, but there's other things more important than doing it. And I enjoy talking about it. It's still spectacle if Chisora. Oh yeah, man, it's still a good fight. Chisora is solid. Best wins Takam in my opinion. Yeah, I agree with that. Takam is better than Price. We'll put it like this, right? You would pick Takam over the majority of the guys that Chisora is beaten. You know, if you think of it like this, Spilka wouldn't pick him against Takam. He'd get ragdolled against Takam. I wouldn't pick Pricey against Takam either. Would not pick Pricey against Takam. Where would I rank Chisora overall as a heavyweight? I heard some guys rate him as a top 10. No, top 20 definitely. Top 20 definitely, not top 10. Definitely not. Definitely not top 10. Would love to see you on one of Ring IQ streams. Julius, I would go on one. I actually subbed to Julius, but I just never get on to, never get around to it. Big up to Ring Boxing IQ as well. Big up to Julius. I will go on some more of these guys' streams. It's just, I don't know, man. I have to get out of my shell more. You know, that's what I need to do. I'm so used to doing these solo streams, but you know, you can thank guys like Mark and D and Blue Collar Sport, because I've been on some of their channels and I am getting out there a bit more. So it is getting a bit more fun. It's common saying down here in New Zealand too, maybe just in your, oh man, Rona. Good old Rona. God almighty. Where do we stand with this? I had a fun chat about Rona in the last stream. I had a fun little rant about it in the last stream. I'm not going to rant about it in this one yet. Mad, there might be 2 to 3 more pay-per-views by the end of the year. Yeah, and that's in a pandemic. Yeah, man, like genuinely, right? One of them will flop. If we've 3 or 4 pay-per-views between now and the end of the year, one's going to flop, and it is going to flop massively, massively. Reason is purely because people don't have as much disposable income. They're just not. And like, I was in the gym on Monday, and they were interviewing people in Drogheda. Now, Drogheda is in a county called Louth. It's only about 20 minutes from Dublin, or from where I'm from anyway. And they interviewed this guy on the street, and it was subtitled, because obviously in the gym they don't play the mute, they don't play the sound. It was subtitled, and he was saying that you could tell this guy was not very bright. He was saying that, lock the country down, never mind the economy, we need to save lives. So you can tell straight away the guy is not very bright. And it's like, mate, you wouldn't be saying that if you lost your fucking job. And as well as that, talk about saving lives. Crashing the economy leads to poverty. What does poverty lead to? Debt. Brains McGee. Common sense, motherfucker. What happened to Chisora Parker? Parker got bit by a spider. Yeah. Parker got bit by a spider. He's like Tobey Maguire now. He's Spider-Man. And I would have loved to have seen that fight. You think Parker would have schooled him? I think that would have been a hell of a fight. Meant to have that this time last year, on October last year, on the Prograis Taylor card. That would have been a hell of a fight. I'm so sad we didn't get a chance to see that fight, because I really was looking forward to that. I was so looking for. I'm still looking. I'd still want to watch that fight. Seriously, man, I still want to watch that fight. Hearn still wants to make. Oh, man, yeah, I actually seen that on Twitter earlier. Oh, fuck that, man. I don't want that. Man, I don't want that at all, man. That is bullshit. That is just such a shit fight, man. Don't want to see that at all. I didn't read your comment, D. Apologies. Feel like the only for Zora, if it's the punch resistance, if Usyk can take the punches from Zora, he can beat him. That's how I see it. Yeah, you're spot on. You're literally seeing it as I see it. If he can take Chisora's power, he's winning this fight. Chisora's been hitting harder, D. He is hitting harder, D. He really is. He really is. He's definitely hitting harder. But yeah, I like that. If Usyk can take the power, I would have picked Usyk anyway. But we'll see. I definitely think you're onto it there. Great minds think alike, D. You're new to the channel, Will. Oh, man, shout out. I'm happy to see any new subs. Shout out to you. So sorry to ask, but I'm sure you probably spoke about this before. But how is McGregor in your view in Ireland? Is he famous or infamous like in other countries? He would be kind of more infamous now, mate. Like in 2015, if you didn't like McGregor, you were seen as kind of like, well, see, this is one of the things that I don't like about certain people, is that, and this is nothing to do with McGregor, but at one stage, McGregor, the hype around him when he was fighting Aldo, and even after even before he lost to Diaz, if you didn't like McGregor, you got so much shit because people were like, you're only not liking McGregor because you want to be different. With me, McGregor is not someone I'd want in my circle, regardless. And I've always felt like that because I'm not that kind of person. I'm always someone who looks at, I take a good look at who I keep around me. So I was never keen on McGregor from the outset. I didn't begrudge him. Like, he's winning. He was doing what he needed to do. But I never really warmed to the idea. I never really was popular with the idea of the guy. Never was. Whereas now, since he's lost a couple of times, since there's been allegations made about him, I believe there was one made at the start of last year. Quite well, it wasn't. I could get in trouble about this, but it wasn't made against McGregor. But people kind of in the know knew who they were referring to. Ever since then, he's really, like, you go with people, you mentioned McGregor, and even people who are his biggest fanboys are just like, yeah, he's an idiot. So in terms of now, people just don't seem to give a shit. Like, they'll watch him when he fights, but they don't seem to be as interested in him as they once were. That's the best way to describe it. That's the best way to describe it. You would not watch Furiano, but you're interested to see who wins. But checked on BoxRec tonight. Yeah, man. Oh man, that fight would, because you see, Dave Allen wouldn't let his hands go. Hughie Fury would just stay on the back foot. That fight would be an absolute snooze fest. Like literally, that fight is 12 rounds. So if I was watching, if I knew that was on the Usyk Bellew or Usyk Chisora card, right, I turn to my missus and be like, right, we've 36 minutes. Let's go to bed. When we come back, fight will be over. We can get into the main card. That's literally what I do. That is literally what I do if that fight was on. With those words, I'd be like, me and you going to bed. We've 36 minutes to do what we need to do, and then let's get back and watch the main card. Oh yeah, that's gonna flop. Marsh, Justin Gaethje versus Khabib, that pay-per-view, man. I'm looking forward to. I'm a casual. You know it yourself, D. I'm a casual MMA fan, but I'm looking forward to Justin Gaethje versus Khabib. It's Khabib's first fight since his dad died, so we need to see how he goes. I'm looking forward to that. Oh, don't mention that. Don't mention that. Oh, yeah. Anyone have insomnia, struggling to sleep? Watch Reese's Bartholomew versus Robert Easter. Please go and watch that fight. Go and watch it. Go and watch it if you're struggling to sleep, or even, yeah, man. Hughie have no fury. That's what I've said that about him in some videos a few times in the title. You know, Hughie have it no fury. That's the best way I'll describe it. Hughie have no fury. Do not watch that fight, bro. Do not watch that fight. It is a snooze fest. Please let me know, is there any chance to talk boxing with you, as I don't have a channel or anything, but I'm a big boxing fan and have a lack of people to talk about boxing. Man, anytime. My email address is on the channel. If you want, you can email me. Hell, maybe sometime, not next week. Next week's live stream is a birthday live stream, so it's just me on. But if you just make a StreamYard account, if you ever want to go on the panel, you're more than welcome to come on and chat. We can do that. I'm thinking of doing that. You know, it's all like, it's grand to have guys like D and Mark and all on, and Big Boys Boxing. But if fans ever want to come on and talk boxing, you can go on the StreamYard, make an account. I bring you on the panel. You can talk all you want, man, anytime. There's no issue. Anyone's welcome on this channel. Seriously, man, I don't begrudge anyone. If you want to email me, you can email me. If you want to come on sometime, you're more than welcome to, and we can talk about boxing anytime. Big up, Tony. Big up every time. You know, big up. It's like I was saying earlier in the chat, like, I don't know if Big Dan's still here, but he commented earlier about channels, about like so many great boxing channels. There's so many great boxing channels, but there's so many channels that are just starting out that we may never hear of. And there's, like, I've noticed the lack of people starting out with like boxing channels, because I used to keep an eye on some of the kind of newer guys. There's none coming up now. There's literally none. Yeah, I think Big Boy said, yeah, Malik Scott versus, ugh. What's he doing these days, Malik Scott? Is electric in the gym, apparently. Yeah, there's a lot of gym fighters like that. Malik Scott, ugh, Jesus Christ. God damn that. Darmani Rock. Do you know something, right? He was actually meant to fight Niall Kennedy last year, believe it or not. He was meant to fight Niall Kennedy last year, but I think Matchroom pulled that card. He was meant to fight Niall Kennedy on the John O'Carroll, Tevin Farmer undercard. Darmani Rock. Boxing squads, Dell are class. Yeah, they're both good. Boxing Lowdown is good. Yep, shout out to him. Shout out to Boxing Lowdown. He's at this longer than me, I think. So shout out to him as well. Shout out to Troll Network as well, beyond the undercard. Oh, man, we were just talking about that fight. Like I said, Troll Network. If I'm with me missus, if we're with one another, and that fight is happening, I'll be like to her, I'll be like, right, Hughie Fury, Dave Allen is on. We literally have 36 minutes. Let's go to bed. Let's go to bed and do whatever we need to now, because seriously, that is literally what we're going to be getting. We're going to get a snooze fest with that fight. He is literally a sparring partner. Exactly, and D gets it. Big up. He is literally a sparring partner. You want a heavy bag with arms that moves a little bit. That's what you're getting with Dave Allen. A heavy bag with arms that moves a little bit. Or was he talking, or were you talking about, you might have been talking about Malik Scott. Makes a good active sparring partner. You might have been talking about him, but Dave Allen is still it. You know, that's why I mentioned it. Yeah. Oh, fuck, man. That fight is shit. He wants that Chinese guy, Zhang. I can't pronounce the Chinese guy's name. We'll just call him the Chinese heavyweight. Can't pronounce his name. Cannot pronounce it. So cannot pronounce it. Tony, your chat is open every day. There you go. Tony, if you're still in the chat, D, Speak Your Mind, Sports Talk. D's a great guy. Hell of a guy. You know, his chat's always open. He's had me on a few times. I'm always happy to go on it. I can't big D Jefferson up enough. Cannot big him up enough. Cannot big a lot of these channels up enough. That's the thing, man. I want all of us to just grow, succeed, and hopefully we can look back like in a couple of years and we're still the same. You know, we're still having our debates, we're still having our panels, and there's no BS going on. You know, that's what I want. All of us to do well. I want all the guys to do well. Where are we at now? You thought the Manny Rock was meant to fight this weekend, but can't find him now. He was with Eddie Hearn at one stage, and they let him go. And literally, I've heard nothing since. Like I said, he was meant to fight Niall Kennedy Paddy's weekend last year, 2019, and yeah, they pulled that. And then since then, we've heard nothing about their Manny Rock. Gee, man, how do you think Povetkin rematch will go? Reckon it's too soon? Mr. Newton, Byron Newton, yes, I do. I think Povetkin's going to knock Dillian Whyte out in similar fashion. You know, when AJ lost to Ruiz, from the outset, I was like, he'll win the rematch. He'll win the rematch. He knows what he needs to do. He'll win the rematch. Whereas this, I'm like, no, Dillian Whyte, he won't learn from that knockout. You can just tell he's not going to learn from that knockout. And 3 months after being viciously knocked out, nah, man, that's bad. He's not going to win. I can't see it. I'd be surprised if he wins, seriously. I'd be surprised. Rock's supposed to be, yeah, he gets real big. He was a good Olympian, or he was a good amateur. Maybe he wasn't an Olympian, but I know he was a good amateur. But yeah, he's blown up in weight. I don't think he's that big a heavyweight either. Has Michael Sunter signed for anybody after? Not yet, man. Not yet. Bob Arum. Sign with Bob Arum. Bob Arum will do you good. Bob Arum will do him good. But if I was Eddie Hearn, like, look at this, right? You've got Dave Allen and Hughie Fury. Like, seriously, people, he's saying Michael Hunter doesn't put butts in seats. He's got Hughie Fury, for fuck's sake. Michael Hunter in one fight could give you more entertainment than Hughie Fury could in 5 fights. Seriously, people, what? Michael Hunter is a good heavyweight. Michael Hunter is a very good heavyweight. I think that's bad out. That's not signing Michael Hunter and keeping guys like Hughie Fury, Dave Allen. Yeah, fuck that. Shout out to Speak Your Mind every time. Who was it? He was Rock Nation, bro. Now not Nation Sports Free Agent. I heard he was looking inside the top rank. Is that Darmani Rock or is that Hunter? Rock Nation. I've heard literally nothing of them over the last few years. Pretty much since War beat Kovalev, I've heard nothing about Rock Nation. You take Hunter. Oh yeah, in every aspect. I'd probably pick Michael Hunter over Hughie Fury. Truth be told, seriously, man, I think Michael Hunter would have beat Dillian Whyte even before the knockout. What do you think about Sporting Icons? He does his own thing. I don't watch a lot of his fights, or a lot of his videos, no offense. He wouldn't be a channel I'd religiously watch. But no, I've seen plenty of Sporting Icons videos. As I said, he wouldn't be a channel I'd religiously watch. But, you know, he does his thing. You know, he likes Dillian Whyte. You know, he is his own thing. He's not a bad guy, though. Like, I aren't like that. But, like, there's certain channels that I'd religiously watch. Like, you know, Hatman, Ade, Dell, Mark, D. Guys like that, I'd watch them whenever they get a video. I'm always like, yeah, I'll tune in. And there's other channels where I'm like, yeah, I'll watch them, but nah, so I'll just be like, right, I can miss 1 or 2 videos here. The champ is here, Mr. Ali. Hatman thinks Hunter will beat one of the top guys. Yeah, so do I. So do I. At least one. Well, if they ever done like Hunter versus, like, I would pick him over Ruiz. I would pick him over Dillian Whyte. Who else would I pick him over? I'd probably pick him over Pulev. Would you consider Pulev a top guy? But I'd pick him over all them guys. So guys like AJ and all, I wouldn't pick him over that. But I'd pick him over most of them. I easily pick him over most of them. You agree, Povetkin? I've had concussions before in sparring. I didn't spar for a month and it didn't feel back. No, yeah, man. Like, I've had I don't think I've ever been concussed. Right? I don't think I ever have, but I've had really, really bad headaches after some spars sometimes, and I've just been like, no, I'm not getting hit in the head for like a week. So I reckon Dylan White was definitely concussed from that shot. And I think it was Michael Vernon Page, who even said it himself, that it took him months to get over that knockout. Not just from, a mental point of view with the embarrassment of it, just a physical point of view, just being knocked out badly like that. So yeah, I can't see Dylan White. Like if this was in like February 2021, February 2021, that's fine. But right now, nah, man. Nah, man. Way too soon. Like November is not that far away, people. Like we're less than 2 months away from the fight now, if you think about it. Love Hunter. I love Hunter. I don't know what it is about him, but I'm always thinking about him, potential fights. I think it's the fact that, I think he knows himself he's really a cruiserweight. But you maybe it's with me, it's kind of like I want to see some of these cruiserweights at heavyweight just to prove that you don't need to be, 6'4", 250 odd pounds to be a good heavyweight. You can be 6'2", 220 pounds and still have great success. I think that's one of the reasons why I like Michael Hunter. That he's proven people that you don't need to be a giant. Yeah, Tony, it was a huge mistake to take the fight. Dylan was definitely concussed. Oh, I mean, definitely. You got Dylan White in the rematch, really? I mean, AJ wasn't successful with Povetkin for 4 rounds. Dylan White was. Yeah, that was a younger Povetkin. I know Povetkin is old, but his age, but still, though, I can't see Dylan White learning from his mistakes. There was another comment there that I wanted to read. I think I clicked on the wrong. Oh yeah, here it is from Tony. Since AJ fights it, yeah, his punch resistance has been shaky since then. Well, as I said, if you think it was bad after the AJ fight, after a knockout like that, it's going to diminish even further. It is going to diminish even further. How do I see Usyk Joshua going? Going back and forth, man. I've been going back and forth with that fight for the best part of 2 years. As it stands now, I would favor Joshua just purely because if Usyk fights Joshua next after Chisora, he will have fought a guy who's 6'1" as a pressure fighter, and he'll be fighting a guy in AJ who was 6'5" and is going to move. So just doesn't really get you best prepared. Used to do construction. Oh man, fuck that. Even the thought of doing construction work, man. I've labor jobs, man. I can't do it. You couldn't take a shit for 6 days. Everything gave you a freaking headache, man. Yeah, that's fucked up, man. That is why, that is why I'm convinced that Dylan White is making a massive mistake taking this rematch so soon. That head is not going to be right. Make no mistake about it. Hunter beat Bacoli, beat Usman as well. Both solid wins. Very solid wins. Very solid wins. Darren doesn't think Usyk versus AJ will happen, to be fair. Yeah, nor I, to be fair, nor I. But if it did, it'd be interesting. But I'd have to agree with you on that. I have to see Usyk Chisora, then I can better assess which one's better. Okay, these are answering a question there. Dylan White's problem is his balls are bigger than his brain. That's a lot of guys' problem, man. That's a lot of guys' problems, big boys. They get it. You see, I used to be like that. I used to be someone where, and like the only time I really lose it is if someone went to like herself and they like done something to her, I'd fucking rip that guy's head off. But before her, I'd lose my head over like small little things with guys. Whereas now I'm being a lot more relaxed. I'm just thinking with my head, not my balls. That's what I used to do. So I used to do that a lot. And it's just easy. When you think with your brain, life gets a hell of a lot easier. It really does. It really does. And that is facts. Facts matter. Everyone in the chat, remember that. Hashtag facts matter. Hashtag G-Man's rocks. There we go. Hashtag facts matter. And everyone in the chat, there you go. Hashtag G-Man's rocks. No, G-Man rocks. Okay, G-Man's rocks. I forgot the S. Fuck it. But yeah, where are we at now? We're at an hour and 12 minutes. Probably going to call this here, guys. 25 fair point deserves credit for taking. Yeah, that's one thing I will say, right? Is that Dylan White, he could easily have just said, no, I'll go in a different direction or something like that. No, he's taking that fight. He wanted to go straight back in there. But again, that could be balls over brains. Could be balls over brains. But then again, we don't know how. He wants that WBC title shot. Let's be frank. That's what he wants. He wants that title shot. He wants that shot. What happens if... okay, so with the WBC, the mandatory resets. So Povetkin is the mandatory for the WBC. So that's going to reset until August next year if Povetkin wins, right? As far as I know, with the WBO, then Usyk or Chisora will inherit that mandatory position. And the mandatory date, if there is a date, it won't change. So if, for argument's sake, it's February 2021, then Chisora will get his shot by then. It won't change. Whereas WBC, if it was when it was originally February 2021, when Povetkin won, it moved to August. Okay, it moved to August. Yeah, does he become man? Yeah, he does. He does indeed. Make sure you smash the like. Great stream again, G-Man. Keep the good work. D, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Like I said, I'm probably going to call it quits here. Peace, G-Man and chat. You come back now. Here you are. Man, I'm probably going to call this quits here. Shout out to some of the guys in the chat. We got a big shout out to D Jefferson, Speaker Mind Sports. We shouting out Big Boys Boxing. Before I go, I want to shout out all these guys. We're going to shout out Tony. He doesn't have a channel, but he wants to talk boxing. He's more than welcome on mine. He's more than welcome on D's, as D said himself. We got to shout out him. We want to shout out the Troll Network. Always a pleasure having you on. Big up to you. Who else do we have? We've had a few people in this chat. Want to shout out Visual Takes as well. He's doing late night work. He has me playing in the background. Always love seeing you in these chats because you're always coming with good comments. You're always saying that I'm helping you get through these works or get through your work. So always happy to help you. Shout out all them guys. You go enjoy the rest of your night. Peace, G-Man. Peace, everyone in the chat. Shout out to all you guys. Give one big final shout out to my man, D. If you're live tomorrow, I'm in my office tomorrow. Well, I'm in the office tomorrow, but if you're live tomorrow at any stage, I'll definitely pop on, have a listen. All right. Anytime, guys. Peace out. Hope you all enjoyed it. I'll talk to you tomorrow. You'll see me tomorrow anyway. I'll have videos ready for you all tomorrow. Okay. So enjoy it, bro. Peace out. Good night. I'll talk to you.